Welcome to the first lecture. In this lecture, I'll show you how to get started with programming. Now, before we get started, we need some programs, right? Architects use software like AutoCAD, game designers use software like Blender, and we programmers, we also need programs. We need two of them, an editor and a compiler. These are not actual programs, these are rather program types. There are many different editors and there are many different compilers. And if you've been to beginning C classes, you'll know that the lecturers make the students download the editors and the compilers from the internet. They go like, you need to download this, then you need to download that, then you need to configure this and configure that. But in this lecture, I've chosen a different path. How about we not install anything? We just go to a website and we'll have the editor and the compiler ready for us. How cool would that be, right? So let me show you how to go to this website. Let's open the web browser. I'm using Firefox, by the way, because I like it, but it doesn't matter. We type in repl.it, Replit, repl.it. It's a nice looking website. Let's click on Start Coding. You see we need to choose a language. We have Python, Node.js, C, Java, and we have a lot of languages actually. We choose C. Create REPL. Okay, this is the program. Now, it looks a bit too white. Let me go to the settings. We have theme. Let's choose the dark theme. Okay, now this looks better. Let's close the settings and open the file manager. Okay, so let me show you how this works. On the left side, we have this file manager. There you will see all your files. Like, you'll be dealing with a lot of files, right? Many programs have a lot of 100 of files. So you'll see your files here. Here we have the editor. The editor is actually quite an advanced one. This is the program that we'll be writing the code in. And on the right side we have the terminal. You might ask, what's the terminal for? What is it? What's a terminal? A terminal is a program that lets other programs output some text on it. Let's categorize programs into two categories, the graphical ones and non-graphical ones. You're probably familiar with the graphical programs, right? They have buttons, they have menus, they have images, and non-graphical ones, they don't have buttons, they just have text. They can output text onto the screen. And you might be surprised, but first we won't start with graphical programs, because making buttons, making menus is a bit tougher than just working with text. So we'll start small and use the terminal for the first part of our lectures. Let me show you how this works. Let's say we have written this program. Okay. We click on Run button. And as you see, it run. We got some text here. This is just like it was before. And we got this Hello World text. That's what we expected because the program only prints Hello World onto the screen. Let's tinker a bit with this program. For example, let's change the thing that will be printed on the screen. For example, let's make this string, I am learning programming. And now let's click Run again. And as you see, we got the new text. Yay! And by the way, the same website works the same in mobile phones too. So let's show how would this work in mobile phones. Let's go to Chrome. I'm using Chrome for this because Chrome has a nice mobile emulator which we can use to show mobile website. Okay, now let's go to the mobile emulator. Let's go to the website. Again, we click on Start Coding. We choose C. We choose Create REPL. And you see we got the editor. So to run, we click on this Run button. We see the console, the terminal, the same thing actually. And we see the result. And then we can go to the code and change the string, some random text, And as you see, we got the result. Okay, let me quickly actually show something for you. Let me actually write a fun program, okay? It's gonna create colorful text on the screen. So let me go and grab my library for this. I'll go to the files. Okay, this is the library. Let's say we have this code here. I'll drag them into this file manager. As you see, it lets us drop them. And we drop them. And now we have multiple files, which is usual for programmers. Now, when I write this code, please don't worry. You don't have to understand how the code works. It's just for fun. You'll be a bit more familiar with how actual programs work, with the process at least. So let's start. Let's remove this code. We don't need that. Every program must have a main function. Int main puts red. And every program needs to return 0. Let's run it. It says that we don't have puts defined. So let's go and define it. Include stdioh. Set cursor color red. And it says we don't have this thing. So let's include this library actually. Include and let's clear the screen and run it. As you see, we got red output. Not exactly red, but it depends on the terminal you use. This terminal defines red as this color. Anyway, let's do the same thing for a few other colors. Let's copy this. Yellow, green. And let's make it blue. Yellow, green, blue. Let's run it. And we got yellow, green, and blue. Okay, as the last step, let's make it so that these repeat forever. So for that we need a loop, while, always, forever. And let's put these inside. That means this code here will keep on repeating forever. As you see, it keeps on repeating. Let's stop the program. Actually, there are two ways to stop. We can just click on stop button and it will stop. But let's clean the screen. I typed in clear and it cleared. This code actually looks a bit ugly. Let's make it a bit more beautiful. You see? Okay, and let me show you how to show other files. For example, we can show this one. We need to drag it like this and we see what's inside this file here. We can also just click on another file and see it like this. Also, we can create files right from here, something. And we can type something like this. And I think it saves it automatically. So you don't even need to save manually. How cool is that, right? Now you might ask, are we gonna use this IDE here forever? Are we not gonna make any games? Well, for the first half of this lecture, we're not gonna be making any games because that's a bit complicated. We'll start small with just text. Colorful text though. But for the next part of the lecture, we're gonna be making games. So we'll have to move on to our own computers and install the compilers and continue from there. That's just to make it clear a bit. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and I hope it was helpful.